Hi, I'm Ian McAllister, and I'm putting on the Ritz.
I'm Jimmy Adams, and I will fight for my right to party.
And I'm Sam Maggs, and I'm coming up, so we better get this party started.
Oh, I'll get the door.
Hi, I'm Robert Ruthven, and I brought a £4 bottle of wine tonight, but I'm going to drink the champagne.
Hiya, I'm Sadie, and I'm actually choosing not to drink tonight.
Welcome to Brainwaves HQ, bringing you the best in board game and tabletop gaming news and a fantastic party.
So, guys, do you know everything you're telling people tonight? Like, we got a few guests coming. Obviously, Robert and Sadie are already here, but there'll be other people popping up. So, Iain, do you know what you're talking about?
Yeah. Well, I thought I'd keep it straight tonight. Talk about that would catch up on the Martin Wallace stuff because people listened to it last time. But yeah, it seems that Martin Wallace and Eagle Gryphon have now sort of resolved all the problems with their little legal issue that we talked about in the last cast. And I've got a few bits of quotes to talk about the sort of Eagle Gryphon
Cool.
catching up with all that.
Cool, but
all
we'll
that
get
kind of
to
thing.
that.
It'll
We'll
be
get to
fine.
that. Jamie,
Yes.
do you know what you're talking about? You prepared something, anything?
Hold on. Hold on.
His Dune. There's a Dune reprint. Talk about the Dune reprint.
What? Dune? Yes.
Just talk about that. And I think I'm talking about just an Asmodee thing. It's me. It's Asmodee. It's fine. I'll do it.
Your favourite.
Something about, I think they're partnering with CMON again in some exclusive agreement, but we'll get there. It's fine. Okay. Everyone good?
Yeah, good.
Let's open the doors.
Welcome to Brainwaves HQ.
Thanks for inviting me to this party. I have to say that I didn't really know what to expect, mainly because you accosted me in the street, threw a bag over my head, put me in the back of a van, and drove me here. But, once all that was over, and I, got to chat to Jamie, Sam, and you, it's a nice place, and, you've put on an excellent spread. Maybe next time an invite might be a little bit more appropriate.
Robert, Sadie, welcome to Brainwaves HQ. Where, of course, we'll show you around. We'll head out. There's a chill out zone and RPG corner. We'll head over there later on. Obviously, there's a few of our guests here. Some guys from the Smart Party. A few other patrons are here as well.
Patrons there. I mean, they're the really cool guys. The patrons there.
Yeah, of course. They're behind the red sort
all
of.
Really good looking. Obviously, very good at decision making.
Absolutely. They're in our premium club behind the red taped off area over there. People won't disturb them over there.
Although we have the premium club, this is a cast and a party for everyone, of course. And while you're here, why don't you introduce yourselves to people? Because some people might not know who you are.
Yeah, that's a good point. We probably should.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well,
Robert.
No, Sadie.
Hi, I'm Sadie. How you doing? I run the Lucky Sparrow Games Cafe with Robert here.
That's me. I'm Robert here, and I run the Lucky Sparrow Games Cafe with Sadie.
Hi.
We are a games cafe in the south of Glasgow.
In Shawlands?
In Shawlands, yeah. In fact, at 1091 Pollockstars Road, if you want to really drill down into it. But that's about it. Other than that, we're just a couple of guys.
That's great. Say that to people all night. They'll love it.
Yeah. just a running advert continuously. I'm sure no one will get annoyed by that at all in anywhere for.
And of course, you're here as our special guests because you're exec producers of the podcast.
That's right, yeah. We're executive producers because, as I alluded to earlier, we're on Patreon. But most importantly, I want it to be known that we're taking that really seriously. Like, I know, like, executive producers, like when someone who doesn't have anything to do with the film gets their name attached to it. No, like, we want to be listening to tapes. We want to be getting really angry, chasing you up and down the street with a stick.
Oh, and we're going to show you later, like, everywhere your mon's going.
Excellent, yeah.
An executive tour of the office.
You will be absolutely furious. Absolutely furious. Well, look, Jamie's going to go and get you some drinks, but in the meantime, let me distract you with some. Let's start at the top with a bit of the dry chat, really, because there's always legal issues with setting up a podcast like this, and it seems that legal issues have been resolved recently between Martin Wallace and Eagle Gryphon Games. We reported on this in the last cast, and it seems everything has now come to a conclusion. We'll put a link to the show notes to Martin Wallace's statement, but the sort of highlights are that whatever the disputes about Age of Steam that may have existed in the past have now been resolved to both parties' satisfaction, which is great, and that Martin Wallace has conveyed whatever rights he had in Age of Steam free and clear to Eagle Gryphon Games, or EGG, and that he will... one of the most important ones, I think, is that he will no longer speak or write ill of Eagle Gryphon Games, because he did get quite sort of grumpy and a bit aggressive, and we don't really want that kind of attitude in the game. In the
I also
industry.
noticed as well that it says he won't speak or write ill of Eagle Gryphon Games in professionally or personally as well. So like even just sat at a table at his house playing some games, he's not allowed to badmouth.
I like the
Legally.
specific word in there, in public or in private, he says, which means if he's lying in bed, he can't get a pad of paper out and go, the swine. No, that's...
How will they know? Will they,
They'll know. They'll know.
They'll know.
Yeah,
I like the idea he's more worried that he'll know.
Just
be worrying about it continuously.
a crisis of conscience. Just I gotta own up to
Exactly.
this, guys. Last night I was making tea and I thought something bad about Eagle Gryphon. I'm sorry. I'm telling you now.
Straight to jail.
Jamie, did you get the sandpit? Did you get the sandpit sorted out at the back?
I got the sandpit working, but I had to tread very
Just in
carefully.
time.
Yeah, I know, just in time.
Oh, guys, that's the doorbell. I'll go and let the other folks in.
Thanks,
But
thanks,
carry-
man.
carry
thanks,
on.
Sam. Cheers.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Oh, here's some drinks for you guys. I hope you don't mind.
Oh, thank you
this
very
is
much.
Best that we've got with your money.
Yeah. Well, we can head back out to the garden. We've patched over the hole from the last archaeology episode, so everything will be fine.
Oh,
I'm sure
excellent.
no one will fall into that drunk tonight.
No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
That'll be fine.
But
health and safety is foremost in our minds, always at Brainwaves HQ.
I've got a question about the sandpit. I had a look at it as we're coming in. Kind of wormy.
This was my problem. It was a little bit, I'll say, infested with sandworms, but they're making something that, has quite a spicy aroma, and I think it'll provide a lot of money for the Brainwaves crew eventually. And this is just coming on hot on the heels. Funny you mentioned that. It's coming hot on the heels of the news that Dune, the almost holy grail of board games in some people's eyes, is getting a reprint from Gale Force 9. Now, Dune was...
I have held a copy of the original Dune in my hands in the not too distant past. Like one of my friends had a copy, sort of squirreled away. An old boyfriend had given her. I told her to sell it for vast amounts of money.
I'm jealous to the max. It was originally published in 1979 and then last reprinted in 1984 to coincide with David Lynch's film, which I have to say, I love that film because it's so bad.
I love that film because it's so amazing, Jamie.
Yeah, I absolutely
so
agree.
amazing.
Jamie, that's just a wrong opinion. I hate to tell you.
Well, that's fine. This is why Brainwaves is open for opinions. We're agreed to disagree. But safe to say,
No, I won't agree.
You
I will
can't
not
agree with the exec. You can't disagree with the exec producers. That's just you're gonna get fired, man.
Okay, moving on very swiftly. Dune in its original format went out of print after 1984, and then it was reprinted by Fantasy Flight Games with the Fantasy Flight Games Twilight Imperium intellectual property as Rex: The Final Days of an Empire. But this
I've
new
never
game,
played, but it's apparently very good.
this new reprint coming out from Gale Force 9 is going to have the original designers Peter Olotka and Bill Eberle on board. It's exciting news. It's apparently going to be coming out in the summer, according to John Paul Brisigotti of Gale Force 9, probably sometime around August. It's also probably going to be one of the first of many tie-in games we're going to be seeing very soon, because as we know, Denis Villeneuve has Denis Villeneuve is helming a remake of Dune, which is coming out in the next couple of years, and Modifius, publishers of such games as Conan, Star Trek Adventures, and Mutant Chronicles, Iain, be careful here, has announced they're going to be releasing several tie-in products, including a Dune RPG.
Yeah, there was a Dune RPG many moons ago, but I don't think it'll be the same thing. I would imagine
No, I
it'll
don't
be
think
2D20 based, much like Modiphius's other stuff.
If anyone doesn't know, Dune, I don't know if some of you guys know about Dune, it's based on Frank Herbert's eponymous series of novels, described as a space civilization power struggle game, where different factions are fighting over the planet Arrakis, or Dune, and it's very, very diplomacy heavy. It's one of the games where it takes about 3 or 4 hours to play normally. Sorry guys, I'm really excited about this because I love Dune.
Guys, can you just come back in? I've been looking ages for you. There's loads of people in the party now. Loads of people, and like,
Oops.
we're the hosts.
Sorry,
get
being
in
bad
the
hosts.
house. Get in. Cool. Yeah, it was Gaz from the Smart Party at the door. He just wants to say,
Hi guys, there ain't no party like a board game party. Except of course maybe the Smart Party. I'm Gaz from the What Would the Smart Party Do role-playing podcast. When I'm not recording my own show, I of course tune in to the Brainwaves podcast to get the latest hot gossip on what's going down. And you guys are doing a great job, so keep up the good work. And one day we'll be able to remove the blight that is Monopoly from the gaming landscape.
Oh, thanks very much for that, guys. Appreciate it. And you're coming up in one of your anniversaries as well, so congratulations on putting together such a great RPG cast. I listened to it myself. It's fantastic.
so guys, I just got reading about this thing. Cool Mini or Not and Asmodee are now in this exclusive agreement where Asmodee are going to exclusively be distributing Cool Mini or Not's games across North America. This was announced at like Gamma a couple of weeks back. I think it was last week. Yeah, so I don't think this is going to change the way any of the two companies operate, really. You know, Cool Mini or Not are still going to be designing the games they design. Anyone got strong opinions on their games? I know we've been quite vocal about it here at Brainwaves, really.
You know my opinions, I think.
I've played a couple of Cool Mini or Not games, but not the massive miniatures-based ones. I didn't realise that Railroad Inc. is in fact published by Cool Mini or Not. So I was
but not designed by they're self-distributing.
Not designed, but still distributed, and that was kind of interesting. But yeah, as I've said before, it's a fine game.
Do you guys see much play of their kind of games in the cafe at all?
We don't see much sort of play of that. What we do see in the cafe is having to deal with Asmodee.
The worst company on the planet.
Like, I mean,
Ooh,
they're not the worst.
bold
I mean,
claim.
there's worse companies. There's worse companies that we would definitely lose trade deals with.
We're in
their
a
name,
sticky
but
situation here because obviously you don't necessarily represent the views of Brainwaves, but you are executive producers and part funders of the podcast.
Yeah.
So is what you're saying representing the views of Brainwaves?
Okay, well, here's let me sort of try and crystallise our thoughts on Asmodee, right? With the one example I always give everyone about the company, right? They're kind like they're monopolising, if you'll excuse the sort of board game, right?
It's very apt.
Excuse puns here, we welcome.
Yeah,
It's very apt, and we're eternally grateful.
We're monopoly positive on this podcast.
Oh, Ian, it really warms my heart to hear you finally admit it.
I don't like it. We are.
But back to Asmodee.
Yeah, back to Asmodee. So the way we and all other retailers interact with them is through what is known mythically as the spreadsheet, right? And it's everything they sell, which is 5,400 odd items, right, in one spreadsheet. And when you want to order those things, right, they're not in any order, by the way. They're not by manufacturer or by name or by price or by anything, right? They're just in there.
I have seen this spreadsheet.
Yeah,
Wow.
right.
Yeah.
It is something, isn't it?
Yeah, and isn't it kind of like you just put the quantity of what you want and you save it in that spreadsheet or something like that?
And you
then
send the spreadsheet back. So
then you send that on.
imagine you went to imagine you went into IKEA, right? And you were trying to buy like a table and chairs, right? They said, "Here you go. Here's a catalogue of everything we have. Here's something the depth of 45 phone books. Go through it, tick off the table and chairs, and then just give us back the whole thing. By the way, 90% of our storage space is these books. That is a maniac's way to run a distribution service.
Wow.
The thing is, because everyone who works there is lovely, like everyone who all our representatives and stuff are really, really, really nice, and like on the phone and stuff, they're all so lovely to work with. But
Yeah.
like Robert's saying, like obviously they are a monopoly, so every single time a new game comes out, you go, "Oh, brilliant! This new game's out, right? How do we get it? Oh, is it on the spreadsheet?"
Yeah. Where is it? Yeah. It's not. It doesn't lend itself to like browsing, and it's just annoying to use. I mean, all other retailers that so when I say they've got a monopoly because they don't have some things, we need to order from Europe or we need to order from America, and yeah, everyone else is using. I don't know how Asmodee works in America. Maybe they've got like a website, but everyone else is using modern distribution techniques, and no, we're still stuck with the spreadsheet.
Yeah, if you just want to mix and mingle with people, I'm going to go let more people in. Say hi to some other people. Have a good time, guys. I'll catch you up in a minute.
Yeah, catch us around.
Yeah.
Everyone enjoy the party.
Well, so guys, what I thought I'd show you is we've just recently set up a little cinema room in the Brainwaves HQ, and that's where some of your money's going, because the staff need to relax a little bit, and we need to film, like occasional sort of documentaries to make sure they're well informed about all the board game news, and we also have a extensive library of Die Hard films. We've got the first Die Hard film and the second Die Hard film, and Die Hard with a Vengeance, which was originally a Lethal Weapon film, and all the other Die Hard films as well.
Sadie, you were talking to me about Die Hard.
I was, yeah. Have you heard that there's a Die Hard game coming out, a board game coming out?
What really?
About Die Hard,
board
in
game?
fact.
About Die Hard?
So-
Would you believe there's a Die Hard board game coming out? Yeah, it's called Die Hard, the Nakatomi Heist board game. And it's just, I mean, essentially you just play through the film of Die Hard, but there's less swears in it, so kids can play it.
Disappointing.
Yeah, I
there
thought so.
there better be a Yippee-Ki-Yay Melon Farmer's card in there, otherwise there would be intense disappointment.
Well, what are we assuming? Is it 1v many? Is it
That's going to be the way.
It has to be.
Yeah, I don't think there's a huge amount being said about it yet. I think they're saying like one versus many, playing through like chapters of the board game, 60 to 90 minutes, but not a huge amount of detail yet.
Who's publishing it?
USAopoly, I think, and they're
that
partnered
makes
with Fox to release it, which I was surprised about. I didn't know Fox owned Die Hard.
I've got. See, to go back to talking about it being 1v many, right? Here's a question for you. So if it's 1v many, right, you either win by completing the film Die Hard,
Yes.
right, or the many win by stopping the film Die Hard from happening, right?
No, I assume it is. The film Die Hard happens no matter what. It's just the resolution, whether or not Hans Gruber and the terrorists get away with all their ill-gotten gains, or John McClane.
Can you kill John McClane?
Spoiler.
In the board game?
Yeah.
I assume, yeah. Spoiler alert: throws Hans Gruber out a window.
I mean, to be fair, it's been a while. I think that's an okay spoiler.
Yeah, that's fine.
And also, it is the front cover of the game box.
Well, that is also very true. Stylized, but yeah.
It's a pretty game.
Yeah, the front cover's quite cool.
Front-
Keep an eye on that one, I think. Cool.
I'm just gonna jump out for 2 seconds, guys. Okay, I'll. You guys keep chatting. It's absolutely fine.
So listen, I've been meaning to ask you something, Ian.
Yeah.
You used to talk about this game all the time, Root, right? Like it's
good.
It's a cute game, right? We've not got it for the cafe, right? Is it cafe appropriate?
Did someone say root? I heard root. My root sense.
I'm afraid you've summoned Jamie.
My root sense was tingling. Did someone say root? Hello, Rob. Did you say root?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi.
Look,
yeah.
I'll you can ask Jamie. He'll be able to tell you. I need to go mingle a wee bit.
Jamie, I need to know about Root.
Yes. What do you want to know about Root by Cole Verla from 2018?
Just tell me about Root. Should I get Root?
Personally, I rather enjoy Root. I've played it 3 times, twice, in fact, at your fine establishment. I brought the copy that I bought along and I played with Sam and Ian, and yes, I rather enjoyed it. It's been winning accolades left and right, and recently it won an award, didn't it?
That's right. I heard that it won Game of the Year award at South by Southwest, which is weird that I would hear that, but I don't know about the game now that I think about it.
That makes sense. Yeah, but it's a game that you hear a lot about, but you go, I need to learn about that, and you just slips your mind every now and again. That's fine. Yeah, it seems to be doing very well. I think the art by Kyle Ferrin is gorgeous. It puts me in mind of Redwall books, if you remember them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, the Redwall was great. I read them all in my childhood. But also, Root's going from strength to strength. Who's we? Later Games, who publishes Root, put up a Kickstarter for the newest expansion. I believe we talked about it last cast. You might have heard of it there. That's it.
That'll be it.
That might it.
In my fanatical listening.
Yes, of course. Within about 5 minutes or so of putting the Kickstarter up for the Underground expansion, Later Games passed their funding goal, and within 5 days, $1 million.
Oh.
So by the time you're hearing this, on the 1st of April, the Kickstarter will sadly have come to an end, but I'm sure they'll be taking late pledges. But
Place a bet.
Root is quite a game. It's, very nicely asymmetric. I think it's one you need to play and work out for yourself. I would ask for Iain's opinion, but he's gone away. I'll go and find him and ask him about Root. Is that okay?
Yeah, go and get Iain. I need a second opinion here.
Okay. I'll go find him.
Hi, thanks for inviting me.
Hey.
Where's the loot?
Just
It must be Sam.
yeah.
I
Hey.
imagined you different.
Okay.
It's RPG corner.
No, it's not.
Can I
It's no.
touch the RPGs?
No one can.
Is this the giant brain party,
Yep.
or is it?
No, it is.
Because you look like you have a small brain.
Thanks.
So are other people coming?
There's loads of people here.
So are other people coming?
You just said that.
Oh look, these sandwiches are the shape of a standard triangular board.
Great. I'm just gonna get some cheese puffs. I'll see you around.
This is Stewie from District 31. I just want to take a moment to wish everybody at the Giant Brain a really happy birthday, and I look forward to seeing more awesome reviews and great content from you all really, really soon. Keep up the great work.
Look, Jim, I was having a nice conversation. I was having a nice conversation with Stuart Garside from District 31. What do you want?
I'm sorry. I just wanted your opinion on Root. And Sam, are you over there? Are you? Look, get away from the cheese puffs. Come over here, Sam. I want your boy's opinion on Root for Robert and Sadie.
Oh yeah, it was fine. It's a good game.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm just gonna get back to the puffs.
The cheese puffs. Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to join you at the puff zone.
Does anyone else want to talk about Root?
So Robert, while we're over at the puffs, someone bought us a little present today.
Oh, right.
Which is quite cool actually. Thought we might as well just open it now.
Yeah, let's have a look. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you opening?
Oh, cool. Well, it just keeps coming. Talisman, the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, boring.
Oh, wow.
It looks like Batman Talisman. That rhymes. That's fun, isn't it? Oh, it also says it's the Super Villains edition. Huh. Strange. Okay. So it looks like it can be co-op or uncompetitive, and it looks like we're going to be playing like Batman villains for some reason. I suppose
Okay, I'm
we're gonna be
intrigued again.
Trying to kill the Batman. I don't know, but it just looks like USA are going hard on this. I mean, we talked about the Kingdom Hearts one. Now we've got Batman one, and hey, I'm sure we're going to be talking about another one in the next cast.
Oh,
it seems.
easily. Here's my question, right? So the Batman Talisman, right? You're playing. It appears on the back of this box. You're playing through Arkham Asylum, right? So the game works by going through 3 set of tiers. So you're working your way towards Batman, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Is it just Talisman? Is it a paint job, or is this a game?
I reckon it will just be Talisman, to be honest. I think they're pumping this out, and they're just milking the whole Talisman thing. I don't think any of them are going to be vastly different to each other.
It's just so tedious. Like,
Oh, it's money though, isn't it?
I mean, it's money, but it's.
You know, they've got like a proper board game that they can just do the whole Monopoly thing with.
I mean, on the upside, maybe you can use that to get someone who likes Batman into board gaming and then show them other things. You know, you can
Yeah, I
get
mean
them into the hobby that way.
that's a good point, but I think the direction to go there is to make a good Batman game.
Sorry, what were we saying? I was playing this game on my mobile, on my phone. Sorry, should I be paying attention?
Well, you should be at the party, Ian.
What?
Iain,
Oh.
we've told you before. It's very rude. Actually talk to people. Don't spend all your time on your mobile phone.
Okay, I'll put it away. Because look, the game I'm playing, like Kingdom Rush, that's coming to Tabletop very soon, actually.
Is it?
Yeah. There's been some preview copies around a couple of cons, some down at AirCon as well. It's coming from Lucky Games, the publishers of Chronicles of Crime. You know, that sort of like a app-driven sort of Sherlock Holmes modern crime.
Oh, did they also put out the Fruit Ninja board game and the Jetpack Joyride board game?
Yeah, so they've got form and taking like popular mobile games, putting them onto board game. Going to be a tower defense game, Polyhedron Collider Cast. I think they're around here somewhere. We're talking about it last time on their cast, and it sounded quite interesting. So yeah, one to keep an eye out for. But yeah, look, I think the whole thing's just getting a wee bit much for me. Can we chill out a wee bit? You know, maybe head to the comfy zone.
Yeah, sure.
Nora?
Yeah, actually, yeah. So we think we'll take you through to RPG Corner. We haven't really shown anyone this, but also it's just a bit away from the party, so we can maybe have a few glasses of whiskey, sit down in some nice comfy chairs. It's swish. Like, this is where the money's gone.
Oh, I'm excited.
Come and have a look.
Before we go, please take these. Finest smoking jackets. I absolutely with all fine money, and one for you, Sadie, of course.
Beautiful, thank you.
Oh, I really see where the money's gone. This is plush. This is now. Is that real beaver skin?
Well, it's faux beaver skin. We had complaints.
Well, I think that's for the best.
Mostly from beavers.
Yes, but now we are all suitably attired. Let us sachet. Everybody, let us pour a drink and raise your glasses for the sad news of the passing of Larry DiTilio, famously known as the writer of the Call of Cthulhu Grand Epic campaign, Masks of Nyarlathotep. Larry died aged 71 of Parkinson's disease on the 17th of March this year. He started off writing for Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids on Filmation, and he was also a staff writer on He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, as well as an executive writer on the sci-fi TV show Babylon 5. He got into Chaosium, the publishers of Call of Cthulhu role-playing game, when they were just starting out, and he contributed to books such as Ye Book of Monsters and H.P. Lovecraft's Dreamlands. And then he decided to write his magnum opus, a 400-page manuscript that originally was Masks of Nyarlathotep. The campaign was recently reissued for the 7th edition of Call of Cthulhu, a role-playing game that came out very recently, with some edits and updating and making it an even bigger, grander campaign, just taking some of his old notes and revising it and slimming things down to make it not quite so lethal for investigators. And the rumours are that he was planning to sort out a TV series based on the Lovecraftian mythos shortly before his death, but now that looks like it's not going to come to fruition.
Well, you never know, Jamie, because RPGs certainly seem to be having their day in the sun when it comes to TV series. I don't know if you guys are all familiar with Critical Role, who have brought D&D to thousands and thousands of people through their web series, but they now have a Kickstarter up for what's it called? The Legend of Vox Machina animated series, and it has recently just broken £6 million. So they are really gunning it for this kind of for their Kickstarters. Their last Kickstarter was Steamforge Games, took in a huge amount as well. It just shows the popularity of this franchise. The upper pledge level was about £18,000, limited £18,000 pledge. Yeah, and you get to be in the show and have dinners with the cast and all sorts. But those are all gone. And again, it has raised the spectre a little bit in the industry about whether companies of this size need Kickstarter, but getting the money to put together a TV series is a very different proposition from getting the money together to put a board game together. And getting funding for that kind of thing is really hard. And wish them all luck, and hopefully if this kind of thing starts to happen, maybe we will see a Mythos TV series somewhere down the line as Call of Cthulhu picks up in popularity again.
Well, we can only hope but see.
You get a bit of Dungeons & Dragons in the cafe, don't you guys?
We do. We get a lot of it, and specifically we get a lot of new people who are coming into the hobby because of Critical Role and because of Adventure Time.
Adventure Time as well? Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, it's 50-50 actually. I don't know if it's a local thing. I don't know if it's Glasgow, but we get 50-50. Oh yeah, I listen to Critical Role and I'm interested in this game now, and I listen to Adventure Time.
Adventure Zone.
Adventure Zone. Oh, go again. Sorry.
Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. I was like, Adventure Time and D&D.
Yeah.
Although Adventure Time is based on D&D.
Yeah, that's true. I've never listened to either, but it still blows me away that people would listen to other people play D&D. Just every time I hear about it, it blows my mind.
I quite enjoy some actual play stuff. I'll plug Penance, some other Glasgow people that come into the cafe. They're lovely, but Penance RPG. But I enjoy some actual play stuff. But see, Critical Role, it's not really actual play. It's just they're all real actors. It's all.
Excuse me. They're all real actors. Is that a slight against non-actors?
No, it absolutely isn't. It's exactly the opposite, in fact, right? See, if I want to listen to actual play, I want to listen to someone going, I don't want to listen to someone that's,
a trained voice actor, basically.
Right, do you know what I mean? Like, it's
No,
just a television program. But I mean, yeah, it's bringing people into the hobby, as I say. It's a great thing.
Yeah, well, there are more D&D movies on the horizon, we believe. Rumours are bounding that Paramount Studios are going to be doing a 2021 release for their next D&D film. Now, Dungeons & Dragons does not exactly have a happy history with films. The original movie was in 2000, and to call it a commercial flop would be something of an understatement. Pulled in $33 million against a budget of $45.
I love it. I love the film. It's bad, but I love it. And for 2 words... Jeremy Irons.
Yeah. he does wander on screen and just sort of swallow bits of scenery whole.
The wonderful. Also, people forget that Richard O'Brien, him of the Crystal Maze and Rocky Horror fame, is also in it, as is Tom Baker.
It's mad. It's
just a recipe for an Oscar-winning smash, isn't it?
I was going to say, all men of intense film and TV integrity there. Yeah, it's just D&D just getting increasingly into the mainstream, and it seems like the next logical step. We're bound to see more pickup of the D&D games off that.
I definitely think it's interesting to see how it's going to be super interesting to see how it does perform and how it does pick up. Obviously, D&D becoming more popular in kind of other parts of pop culture, so obviously things like Stranger Things boosting the reputation of it. Is it one of those retro things that's kind of, it's cool because it's cool at the moment? Or actually, is it like the World of Warcraft movie, which didn't really do anything,
Yeah. Have you seen the World of Warcraft movie?
I think the Warcraft film came out, not the when Warcraft itself was going down in popularity, but the initial wave had.
Somewhat. Definitely. It was not a big thing when the film came out. Yeah.
Like Robert says, Critical Role's been bringing people for D&D into the cafe, and that audience is bound to some of that audience is bound to go and see a film about it.
Yeah, and if 58,000 people are willing to give £6 million to a company to make a third-party D&D based animated TV show, then surely enough people are willing to actually give money to a legitimate thing.
Yeah, that's bound to make Paramount go, we would like a large piece of that pie. Thank you very much.
Do you think they're going to go down, because there's 2 sort of roads I can see a D&D movie going down, right? Which is, what you're talking about, Sam, is just going to be called Dungeons and Dragons, right? And I think if they did that, what they would do was they would make like a Marvel superheroes, but it's fantasy, right?
Yeah.
Or do you see them going down Lord of the Rings is inexplicably still making money? Why don't we just do that?
I can see them going for more an MCU kind of thing, maybe, perhaps.
I can imagine it possibly being like a more sort of like Jumanji Zathura type idea.
Okay.
Yeah,
the
something
actual
to the game kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, especially with the new Jumanji stuff being
exactly.
a huge
It's like
hit,
popular at the minute.
Then why not actually have a group of kids? Like at the beginning, it's just a group of kids playing D&D, and then it just goes into the film.
Or what about they just
something like that?
What about they just nick the idea, or not nick the idea, but they copy the idea of the Dungeons and Dragons Saturday morning cartoon, where children go on a Dungeons and Dragons themed fairground ride, and then they're suddenly in a Dungeons and Dragons world. That being said, if we're going to talk about this, a Dungeons and Dragons film is being made. What's the setting they're going to use? Are they going to do their own one?
It's just going to be high fantasy.
No. It's begun casting. That doesn't necessarily mean it'll actually get made.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see.
Like Wizards, it begun casting. No
I don't
guarantee it's going to be cast.
But also, you've got to think about when you talk about setting and pleasing fans and stuff. They frankly don't care about that. It's like people when the World of Warcraft movie came out, they were like, there's so many more interesting stories to do than orcs versus humans. But it's just like, but the general public don't care about that.
No, I know.
Yeah.
So that's what they're just going to show people. So they're just going to show people Forgotten Realms and high fantasy, classic D&D stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the alarm's going off. Jamie, it's the breaking news alarm.
Oh,
I think. Hold on.
I'll go and calm everyone down in the party. I'll just let them know. Okay, I'll be back.
I'll go and turn. Sure. I'll go and turn the alarm off.
I don't know about you, Sadie, but I'm panicking.
I'm freaking out.
Nobody panic.
Wait.
Calm down.
Oh yeah, I think I hear some news coming through the tubes of the Brainwaves HQ. Oh yes, so this is breaking news. Apparently, So the Chinese government has destroyed all the copies of an RPG supplement. So yeah, this happened just after the printing completion of a Call of Cthulhu RPG supplement called the Sassoon Files, which is going to be set in 1920s Shanghai. And it was a Kickstarter last year, all ready to go, all ready to be sent off. And then the folks involved got contacted by the printer, who said the Chinese government have decided that your book contains stuff we disagree with and we don't want it out there, and burnt all their stock. And they've had their deposit returned, thankfully, so they haven't actually lost out any money. But obviously it's a massive delay to their Kickstarter, a massive delay to their fans. But yeah, just an incredible thing to have happened to an RPG company. I haven't heard of, there must have been other RPGs that went out that have been put out by Chinese printers that have stuff that the Chinese state would consider questionable content.
See for publicity for a horror game supplement,
yeah,
burned by the Chinese Communist Party. I mean, they've done them a favour there, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, we could just slap that on the front cover. This book banned and burnt in China. Absolutely incredible.
But if you think about it, that the book was published in China. The government may have had an issue with it, so they burnt it. How many companies nowadays, be it small independent companies or even the big companies, are using China as a production side of their games for cheap labour and stuff?
Yeah, pretty much everyone.
Now I understand it can be considered a logical fallacy. This is a bit of a logical fallacy, but when it comes to the Chinese government deciding what they disagree with now, it's quite possible because of the setting in 1920 Shanghai that is going to influence it. But
raises the spectre of it happening again.
Yes, it raises the spectre of happening again, and it might be of a less of an obvious choice. And again, as I said, danger of a fallacy, a logical fallacy, but one to watch out for.
Hey everyone. We should probably just all get back to the party, to be honest. Pretty much everyone's here by now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Iain, these guys just want to say hey.
Happy birthday, Brainwaves! Can't believe you guys are one already. Congratulations, and you guys are doing an amazing job. Can't wait to hear what's in store for the next year for you. And by the way, is that Dior Homme you're wearing? It smells divine. Anyway, gotta go. Bye!
Just wanted to say a big congratulations to everyone at the Giant Brain and Brainwaves. Loving the show, loving the party. Balloons are amazing. I love balloons. Give me all the balloons. But big congratulations from We're Not Wizards. And here's to another year from you guys. Unless you get bigger than us.
But yeah, I think we should actually just get to playing some games.
Yeah,
which should be good fun. Anyone know any kind of good party games that we can just jump to? Like, we've got quite a big crowd of people, but we can probably split up into groups. I don't know what people want to do.
Well, I got this new game off Kickstarter called Offensive Adult Party Game, and sort of taking the mick out of Cards Against Humanity. I mean, is it okay it's taking the mick out of Cards Against Humanity? I don't know. I mean, there's lots of different party games out there, and they're all good ways to get people into the hobby.
Yeah, I saw this as well, and I don't know how I feel about this. Like, when we were at Lucky Sparrow Games Cafe,
1081 Pulitzer Road,
we saw people playing Cards Against Humanity. You know, that actually is still obviously popular. People are playing it, and hey, if it gets people playing games, it gets people playing games, right?
We see people come in to play Cards Against Humanity, to play Exploding Kittens, and they're always very easily talked into playing a good game instead. So it is like a good...
See, the thing, yes, there is this snobbery that Exploding Kittens and Cards Against Humanity are not good games by something in the sense of the modern board game community. But you know what, if they get people playing, if they get people having a good time, I think that's the minimum criteria for it. It's a good board game for a lot of people.
Yeah, and you say, you know, that, it gets people, like, people very quickly get talked into playing a good game. But initially, surely they've come in and that's what they've picked up. So that's made them step into that room, which is the first thing, right? But just getting back to what Iain saw on Kickstarter, I don't know if anyone else saw this. Did people see this?
Yeah, I saw it as well.
So basically, someone's come up with their own game called Offensive Adult Party Game, which is it's Cards Against Humanity. Does it have the full set of questions, like normal questions?
There's one question and then 17 cards with one answer.
Yeah, and the question is, I like playing offensive adult party games because I lack creativity and enjoy the illusion of being funny. Now, whilst I kind of agree with the sentiment a bit, that's going a bit far.
Yeah, it's kind of like. Carry on.
Oh, the thing is, I think, right, because Cards Against Humanity is a mega embarrassing game, and see, when we're talking about like mechanics and stuff, like I think the concept of the game is good. Like it's sound. The problem is all the comedy in it is I've said something really offensive.
Yeah.
Do you get it? But somehow this is much more embarrassing. Going, oh, actually, I'm too highbrow to enjoy a game like that.
Yeah.
The whole point of this one as well is, one, you can't play the game. It's not a game. Like, this is offensive adult party game I'm talking about here. But also, isn't it just a bit like, shut up about it? Like, we get that a lot of people don't like it, but like, it just, like, it's a weird word to use, but this just seems really lame.
Yeah, it'd be like if Robert and Sadie, every time someone picked up Cards Against Humanity, they said, "Get out of my cafe." That's not good. That doesn't really help grow the board game.
Yeah, like we did
all.
a brainstorm a couple weeks back all about gatekeeping, and a certain demographic of the board game community essentially just not letting other people in because they see them as not proper gamers or not veteran gamers. Our favourite phrase.
No, it's your favourite phrase, Sam.
That's because Sam is a veteran gamer. He's the only one at Brainwaves HQ that is actually a veteran gamer.
If I'm a veteran player of Cards Against Humanity, do I get a free copy of Adult Party Game?
Keep wishing, sunshine.
Send them a message.
I also disagree, because while I believe Cards Against Humanity for me can swing between a good laugh, having a good time, and sniggering like Beavis from Butthead, I believe it is possible to not be offensive in it and just game it so the people that you're playing with, you know what makes them laugh. So don't always go for the most offensive stuff, because depending on the people, they might not find that funny.
I mean, I think the problem we would have with it, because the games are red hot already, right? It's just so embarrassing. It's really, really funny if you're like 12 years old and you think that a boob's hilarious, right? That's fine, right? I want to make that very clear, right? I'm not saying, like, when you're talking about like gatekeeping and all that, we fundamentally agree. Like, it's not that it's not a proper game, it's a really bad game, right? Yeah. And when you say you can play it without using these sort of edgy cards, that game has existed for years and it's called Apples to Apples.
I was going to say, it is called Apples to Apples, but Apples to Apples does exist, and Cards Against Humanity seems like the logical next step for a more adult version of it.
Yeah. The thing is, I saw quite a lot of sort of like reasonably sort of high profile, I hate the term, but content creators, like reviewers and all sorts, like ourselves, sort of sharing this around and sort of like laughing and going, "Oh, isn't this funny?" It's like, can we not be like that? That'd be great. Like,
just alienates people, really, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, you're just alienating people that might eventually be fans of the board games that you like, and you can use that. You can like bring them into the hobby. You don't have to. Board
games already have a snobbery problem at times. Let's not exacerbate it by going, "Oh, look at this. These people who play this game that can be offensive, but you know what? We're better than them." Well, you know what? By doing this, you're not.
It's fine to have an interest in this one thing. Like, it doesn't hurt anyone. It's a game. Just leave it. It's a game. Anyway, other party games. We're looking at playing party games. Obviously, that one's maybe a no. Then we won't play that. Sure.
We brought Scroll from the cafe. Have you seen this?
Oh,
I love Scroll.
We're a big fan.
Scroll is a Brainwaves firm favourite. I mean,
always awful. Always ends up in awful things.
I would agree. You know what? I'm going to make a claim. I believe that Scroll is the Cards Against Humanity to Scattergree's Apples to Apples.
yeah, I can see that.
But much more fun.
Oh, it is an incredible game.
I love it.
There's like a house rule we have in the cafe, which is see how many times you can get round the board before someone draws a male organ.
That's fair.
and very
well
much
done
depends on
that.
the card.
But yeah, we all love Scroll here. So if you've got a copy, I think
and in fact, sorry, go ahead, Sam.
Well, I think we should just go and set it up now, is what I was saying.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Don't get got.
Oh, don't get got.
50 players or something absurd? I need to look it up. But
yeah, I think it's 25 players. I think it's quite a large number of players. But the point is, well, technically it's infinite players because everyone's playing, even if they don't know they're playing. So the idea don't get got is
it just the
if
game
you're
that we play
an
as,
in on it
kids,
player.
someone's like,
No.
have you heard about the game?
No,
And you
no,
go, you just lost the
Yeah.
game.
Exactly.
it's a bit.
That's like an element to it, sort of. The idea is that like a select number of people have tasks to complete, and every single other person at the party is playing, but they don't realise they are. And the people who have tasks have to trick all the other people. And when you trick someone, you can say you got, and you can flip your card over to say you've done it. But you only get one chance, and if you fail,
Sounds kinda
then that's an
cool. I'm up
instant
for
failure.
this.
If you get caught.
It's
I
It's
quite like big potato games, so yeah, I'm always willing to
think-
try
Yeah, I
them.
think
played it
I'm gonna pack up Scroll, and I'm gonna set that up. Okay.
Cool.
I think I played a little bit at the cafe opening, and I think I forgot about it for most of the evening. Sadly, we were playing Scroll. We were talking about things. It was good fun.
Most of my first experience of meeting Jamie was watching him have really confusing conversations with people because he was trying to like crowbar in things to do don't get got.
I got one, and it was on Robert, so I'm very happy about that.
I got.
You got.
I say, guys, so it's all set up to play. If anyone wants to say any last things, but I think we're just gonna crack on with the party now, really. So
Wait a minute, Sam, wait a minute.
Yeah.
We've got the party. Before the party actually like properly starts, we had started, but before we kick into the swing of it, there's something missing, I'm sure.
Can't think of anything.
Well, you say that actually, but as you know, I'm besides an executive producer, also a long-time fan of the show, particularly for one element of the program. In fact, do you know what that might be? Ian, do you know, for instance?
Our silky voices.
No, it's actually Monopoly news.
Yay!
I mean, I'm not angry, but I am very disappointed.
So
this man paid your wages. You better listen.
Yep. We're listening.
Okay,
we're all
okay,
ears.
fair,
We're all
fair.
ears.
Yeah, earlier on we were joking about creative control and all this. Right, the only qualification for us paying the Patreon is that Monopoly news must stay. I've got a bit of Monopoly news, which is in September 2018, a man proposed to a woman through the medium of Monopoly. Can you believe it?
And she said no.
What? I mean, because there's details I can tell you about this, right? So he built like a fancy board and like he hid the ring and all that, right? It's what you'd imagine, right? But can you imagine how miserable it must be to spend time with those people? Can you
No,
imagine?
We both love board
hard.
games.
No,
she
we
is
all love
super
board-
competitive, and her favourite game is Monopoly.
Right, imagine how quickly in the conversation with those two do you think the conversation turns to? Did you see we were on the BBC for doing the Monopoly engagement? Immediately.
It's a man called Kevin Jones in New York, wasn't it? And his now fiancée Kristen.
The article comes from the BBC, though, so you know, worldwide fame for building a Monopoly board for his fiancée.
That's true.
That's lovely.
It's a very nice
comments.
board, actually. He's made a nice thing.
I think it's sweet. However, I feel like she must have cottoned on pretty early on. Like, how much of the game did they play after the proposal had happened? Did they go, yeah, we'll marry you? Right, okay, well, it's your shot and you've got a chance.
Well, anyway, look, we better go and get to these party games. So, look, we'd like to thank Robert and Sadie for coming along today to the party, everyone else who's come along to the party, and everyone else who's supported us and liked and shared the podcast over the last year. It really means a lot to us that there are people out there listening to us and actually tuning in every time we put out a cast. It's fantastic to see, especially to all our patrons, including Robert and Sadie here, who give us a little bit of money to help support the cast and put it out every fortnight. It really helps us sort of maintain everything and to put the website together and all that kind of thing. So yeah, just friends and family have supported us over the last year, and yeah, we're into Season 2 now of Brainwaves. We'll probably change things up a little bit. We might have some more guest reporters on and guests on the show over the next year. We'll be changing things up a little bit here and there, but we'll still be putting out the same news podcast that you've come to know and love.
Thanks very much for listening. If you like what you've listened to, then the best way to help them out is to share the podcast and drop them a review and rating on iTunes.
You can find more about Brainwaves on Twitter at The Giant Brain, Instagram Giant Brain UK, Facebook The Giant Brain, website giantbrain.co.uk, or you can email them on giantbrainuk@gmail.com to, I'm assuming, ask them questions and things.
And how can our fine listeners get in touch with the Lucky Sparrow Gaming Cafe?
Oh, You can find us on Twitter at The Lucky Sparrow, on Facebook at Lucky Sparrow Games or Lucky Sparrow Gaming Groups, or you can email us to ask any questions at luckysparrowgames@gmail.com.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for coming along. Let's go and play some games. You all set up, Sam?
I'm good, and thank you very much, everybody, for listening. Forever.
Yeah, thank you very much, everybody.